DC Live.
What's up, family? If it's your first time checking out the show, let me know what city, what state you're coming in from. If you're outside of the U.S., let me know what country you're representing. Family, I need you to smash up the likes, smash up the likes, smash up the likes. Also, if you have not done so already on YouTube, after you subscribe, there's a little bell next to your subscribe button. Go ahead and click that thing right now so you can get your notifications each time I drop a new video like this. That way you'll be in the loop. Family, I'm gonna let a few hundred of y'all come in and then I'm going in. But in the meantime and in between time, I'm gonna give some shout outs to the early birds. What's up, Brenda Brown, Ruth Robinson, Justin Pitcock, Claire B, Tamika Bolton, what up? Gregory Crockett, what it do? What's up, Tori Stark? Crypto Chad. What's up, Crypto Chad? Every time I see your name, it reminds me to check my positions, man. Check my traps. Yeah, Willie Thomas. What's up, Willie? Hell of a name, man. Hell of a name. Salute. Lisa Owens. What's up, Cincinnati? What it do? Miss Jazzy. Miss Jazzy in the building. What's up, Miss Jazzy? Yeah. What we got here? Extra Strength Talk Podcast. What's up, Extra Strength? Extra views in 2024. You know what I'm talking about? What's up, Buckhorse DC? Erica Williams. What it do? Magnificent Bastard. All right. Why they say I ain't just a bastard, I'm a magnificent bastard. All right, fam, going in. Let me put a pic up of Brandon. That family is Brandon Paul. Brandon Paul is in a bit of a pickle. Brandon Paul was arrested last March on drug possession charges. Brandon Paul is an associate of Diddy who has worked allegedly in the capacity of Diddy's assistant. What does that mean? That means that Brandon knows where the bodies are buried. Brandon allegedly had really close access to Diddy and unlimited access to Diddy. Now, Brandon was arrested at Opelika Executive Airport after the feds raided the plane that was owned by Diddy, and they found cocaine and marijuana candy, they say. He was arrested and taken into custody at the time the feds were raiding Diddy's Miami and LA mansions. The 25-year-old who was extremely close to Diddy and was privy to Diddy's comings and goings pled not guilty. His lawyer, Brian Bieber, said that he will be dealing with this case in the courtroom, not the court of public opinion. Diddy, as you know, family, is in the crosshairs. Diddy is in the crosshairs of the feds. There's a picture back in March when the feds raided, well, I don't know if they call it a raid, but this is when they ran down on Diddy's plane, his private plane. And as you can see, the arrows are pointing, one arrow is pointing at Diddy with his back to the camera, and the other is a side profile of Brandon Paul. So as I was saying, Diddy's in the crosshairs of the feds. He's been investigated for sex trafficking, illegal gun possession, and other alleged crimes. Now, the wild card is Brandon Paul. See, the feds are not eyeing this case against Brandon as some major case. But what it does is give them leverage to get information out of Brandon about Diddy if he knows anything that can help the feds case. It gives them leverage. So even though this might be a slap on the wrist type case for Brandon, they could pursue the maximum against him, whatever that maximum is. Let's say he ain't never been in a jam before, but he still got caught up with some, a small amount of drugs or whatever. They can try to turn a molehill into a mountain and say, well, he was trying to distribute, not just being a user. This, because a lot of times when you have a small amount, they can say, oh, he wasn't trying to distribute nothing. He wasn't trafficking, he was just, this was just a small little stash for his personal use. Well, now they can say, well, they can get him to say, this wasn't for me. I was holding this for Puff. Boom. Or he can say, yo, this right here, or they can say, yeah, this right here, this stuff that you got, man, we gonna hit you for trafficking. Because if we think you were selling. So if you were selling to him, we're gonna find one other person. In fact, we got 2 other people who said you gave them something. That's distribution. And if you moved across state lines, that's trafficking. They can make it what they want to make it. If they want to just really, really smash the gas and stretch, they can do that. And they've done it. So it's not out of the question. Now, the $64,000 question is, now why did I say $65,000? I got to stop saying stuff like that. The $128,000 question is, will Brandon hold his mud? Will he deal with the consequences, whatever that is, and take accountability for his own actions and not try to bring anybody else down or lie on anybody? Because a lot of times, even when people don't really have no real information on somebody, they can make up things. They can tell them people what they want to hear. And then it makes its way into a courtroom as the truth. Happens all the time. I know some of y'all ain't never been to jail. Y'all ain't got no close family members been in jail or have been lied on by the authorities. Y'all believe everything y'all hear on the news. Everything you read in the papers, you just take the word, take their word for it. So I get that. But those of us who may have some trepidation about law enforcement, who have seen, based on our experiences, all right, fam, where we at with this? Is Brandon gonna try to drag Diddy into his case, or is he gonna hold his mud? Thumbs up if y'all think Brandon gonna hold his mud and just ride it out and take some self-accountability. Or do you think Brandon will try to throw Diddy under the bus? Thumbs up if you say, no, man, Brandon gonna stand 10 toes down. thumbs down and say, nah, man, he gonna rat the first chance he get. He gonna make up something. He gonna try to throw Diddy under the bus. It's gonna be every man for himself, or is teamwork gonna make the dream work? Tamika down, Ice down, up. Black Lion Supreme up. My Holy King down. Sarah down. Magnificent Bastard up. Tyrant down. Mike down. What is it? 7th down. Yee down. Baby Doll Forever down. Kill Yourself down. D-Money up. Master Blaster down. Quincy down. Preston up. B. Venus Green down. Khalif up. Big Tex up. Adrian up. Randall up. It's close. It's close. It's so close. I can't tell if most of y'all are saying up or down. Okay, call it a draw. Call it a draw. What's up, Skibo? Skibo Dennis. Hell of a last name, man. Hell of a last name. Salute. Puerto Rican Princess. What's up? So here's the thing, fam. You know, today in today's society, most people, they're not going to hold their mud. They're not going to ride it out. You know, snitching in certain segments of our society now is cool. It's tolerated. In fact, it's accepted and respected. Yeah, snitching. So it ain't like you can get yourself hurt, really seriously hurt now for snitching, unless it's tied with maybe some government or state stuff, or the mob. That's serious. But all of the street stuff, just regular street stuff, nah, fam, they snitching. They snitching. That's why if you're out there doing something, you better, when you go out there, if you're thinking about doing something dirty, you in the streets, if you're thinking about doing something dirty, you're thinking about doing something illegal, and you going to do it with somebody, you better go in. I don't care how cool y'all are. I don't care if y'all grew up together. I don't care if you slept in the same bed together. I don't care if you ate at each other's mama houses together. If you went to elementary school together. If you go out and do something today, you better go in with the intentions or with the expectations that if it go wrong, they gonna tell. Even if it don't go wrong, they might tell to get some attention, because you know that's what everybody's trying to get now, attention. They'll get themselves up. They'll go to jail. They'll risk a whole life sentence just to let people know they did it. Look, I got it. Look at me. I got it. Get their likes up for a day. They be on the run. They be on the run for about 3-4 days. It's exciting to them. They're on the run. You know, they laughing, they giggling about it. Yeah, all on social media, looking at the likes and look at people talking about me. Look, people talking about me. Yeah, they talking about me. Then when them Cubs come, they still be celebrating. Yeah. Then when that judge hit that gavel, 30, 35 years, they go. That's when it hit. And sometimes they try to put on the front even when they get the time. But boy, when they go back in that room and they be sitting in there thinking about that, oh, you better believe ain't no laughing going on. That's all the front. You'd have to be really, really mentally ill to be laughing at a 35-year sentence. Hell, a 10-year, a 5-year sentence, a 1-year sentence, a 1-day sentence. I ain't laughing at none of it. I ain't trying to do none of it. Paul Austin, what up? Rob's Kitchen. Yeah, what up, Rob's Kitchen? What the sell or ban TikTok bill just passed by Congress means for you? Sell or ban? I tell you what, fam, how y'all think this Diddy thing gonna end? How do y'all think the Diddy saga is going to end? This is gonna be tough to overcome for Diddy, though. I ain't gonna front. This is gonna be tough to overcome. It's just too many cases, man. It's just way too many cases. It's just too many cases. Even if they're not true, it's just cases. So many cases. So many lawsuits. And I'm gonna tell you something. This is the worst part right here. I'm gonna tell you what the worst part is. Innocent or guilty. The worst part is when they start making them damn documentaries about you. Everybody they made a documentary about went to jail except Michael Jackson. When they start making them documentaries, man, but here's the thing about the documentaries. Whether the documentary paints you in a good light or a bad light, it's very effective. The documentaries are very, very effective in regards to shaping public opinion. In the court of public opinion, those documentaries are very effective. I've seen people who we had no idea even existed, cases come forward or play out in documentaries, and you sit there and you listen and you hear the evidence or lack thereof. You listen to all of the players. You listen to the witnesses. You listen to the accused. You listen to the judge, the jurors, prosecution, the defense attorney, the family, and next thing you know, somebody going home. That person has been exonerated because the documentary tends to expose a lot of things that were covered up, a lot of things that have never been mentioned. So the documentaries can hurt you or harm you. They are working on several documentaries right now regarding Diddy. And none of those documentaries, as far as I know, are intended to make him look good, to paint him in a good light. All of those documentaries are hit pieces. And whether they're true or not, they can have a strong impact on what members of law enforcement think or do. They can have a strong impact on what politicians think or do, because the politicians can put the pressure on local officials to do something. They can put the pressure on the officials. They can put the pressure on the DA. They can put the pressure on members of law enforcement to do something. And now, if that happens, then you got the judge and the feels pressured to make sure that this person gets punished. And a lot of times, these people stretch their authority. Just like, if they paint you in a good light, the judge can feel pressured to give that person a new trial. The DA can feel pressured, which is harder to do, to say, we're not going to try him again. Especially if the DA gets exposed for some type of unethical behavior. Those documentaries are very powerful, and they're hard not to watch because they're going to sensationalize. It's a race right now to produce Diddy-related documentaries. It's a race. I'm talking about, it's several people out there, several companies out there that are producing these documentaries as we speak. And the first one to hit, especially the first one to hit, is probably going to have the greatest impact. If I was Diddy, I'd unleash a slew of lawsuits right now against anybody slandering my name, anybody, because what are you slandering? Like, if you can't prove it, because a lot of this stuff is not even proven. A lot of stuff that's about Diddy is hearsay. You can look at it and say, yeah, he probably did it. Yeah, Diddy is be acting kind of shady. You can do a lot of that, a lot of speculation and stuff, but I ain't really seen no real proof. Slander is falsely speaking on someone and it damages the reputation of them. It damages their reputation. One might say, well, Diddy's reputation already damaged. Yeah, somebody could have a damaged reputation, but you can cause further damage to a person's reputation. Diddy can argue that, hey, yo, man, my reputation wasn't damaged until they started saying this here. It was just accusations, but I didn't feel I didn't feel violated until this person right here said what they said. Now it's up to a court to decide if those remarks were slanderous or not. Words falsely spoken that damages the reputation of another is slander. Words falsely spoken. So unless a person has proof, unless a person has proof, I'm not talking about speculation. What you think of a person, what you think a person may have done is not proof that they did it. What someone may have done in the past is not proof that they did something that they're accused of today. Now, I know that's hard for a lot of us to accept because we like to go like all in. Well, you always, man, were you checking up for a pedophile? No, man, I'm trying to get y'all to like look at this objectively and not emotionally. People are talking about the money side of things. I see I'm gonna read this KV Antonio message. KV say, "Stop it, Willie. He's going to go broke, and he's still going to go to jail. I hope you do file lawsuits and lose all his money. I hope you do file lawsuits." Are you trying to say I hope he do file lawsuits and lose all his money? Oh man, do you know how hard it is to lose $1 billion? It's happened, but I don't think Diddy will ever be broke in his lifetime. I don't think he'll be broke. I don't think that's going to happen. There's ways to protect your money. You know, ask Don the Con. He knows. There's ways to protect. When you got that kind of money, there's ways to protect that money. Look at OJ. OJ lived a good life, at least a comfortable lifestyle. You know, he had a comfortable lifestyle till the day he died. He's paying himself, you know, close to $40,000 a month. That ain't broke. And that ain't nearly what they're reporting that Diddy is worth. He might have to get rid of one of them planes or something. But I doubt if he'll have to downsize his mansion. Somebody said most of the public figures are what do you say? I missed it. Oh, there you go. Terrible people. Most of these public figures are terrible people. Yes, and can I agree with that? Most of these public figures are terrible people. public figures most terrible. Most. Most terrible. Most of the, I would say most of the people at the very top are terrible. The very top are terrible. Most. The reason most of the people at the very top are terrible is because corruption, every major institution in America is corrupt. Every single one of them. You can't name one, including the health industry, healthcare industry, and the clergy. Every single one of them are corrupt. And the people who are at the very top are the most corrupt, and that's why their industries are corrupt. They're not going to ever be good, wholesome for the people. It's going to always be a facade. The name of the game is for those at the top to get as much as they can get for themselves. And the easiest way to get what they can get for themselves is to cheat, to steal, to lie, and then get a whole lot more. They can live a decent life off their salaries, but they don't want to do that. They want more. So they figure out ways that they can get more and do more, get away with more. So they take advantage of their positions. And if somebody decent, somebody good comes along and they start making too much, if they start making any waves, start trying to like make the organization or company, whatever entity, if they start trying to make it decent or expose somebody who's bad, then that person is going to be removed. Why do you think? Do y'all remember the movie American Gangster, when that dude, what's his name, Russell Crowe? When Russell Crowe and his partner pulled the guys over, and the guys had all that money in the trunk, and they took the money out the trunk. It was, I think it was like over $1 million or something, $2 million. They took the money out the trunk and they brought it all the money back into the department, and they checked it into the evidence. And when Russell was walking out of I think it was the next day or so, he was on the job, and he was walking through the offices of the department, and all of the cops were looking at him like, you know, they had looked like, nigga, what's wrong with you? Turning that money in. You know, it spoke volumes about how they get down, because they were looking at him like, man, ain't no way I would have turned that money in. And I can't trust you. So the rest of these guys, they didn't trust, from that point on, they didn't trust him because he was honest. They didn't trust him. Now, and this guy started having a harder time in the department because he was honest. This happens a lot. An honest cop. Remember when there's a video of this female cop stopping this big bully male cop. That's a female cop. This big bully male cop from abusing his authority. He was like, talking crazy and putting his hands on a suspect while putting him in the car. And she tried to pull him off of it. And he's like, don't you ever, He cussed out and all this. Don't you ever try to put your hands on me, boo boo. And they ended up firing the woman. They ended up firing her. The bad guy keeps his job. How that work? How that happen? Corruption is at the top. Take a good teacher. She goes into the school. She has the classroom. She has command of her classroom, not as a tyrant, but as someone who genuinely cares about the students. She tries to implement programs and courses, activities that the kids like, that's conducive to a healthy learning environment. But she has to get the permission of the administration, the principal. If the principal is the one that wants to do it and do all these great things, he got to go to superintendent. And it gets struck down. Why? Man, we ain't here for all that. We ain't here for these kids to graduate and feel good about themselves. That ain't what we here for. We here to babysit for 8 hours and get them on out of here. We ain't trying to see them excel in life and all that kind of stuff and go to the next level and be great parents. We in here trying to do this and get this indoctrination thing down pat and let them know really it's hopeless. We ain't here to make them feel good, and plus you getting too much shine. I'm hearing too much talk about people, how these students like you. And I'm jealous because don't nobody like me. Evil, fam. The evil at the top. If you get to the top and you're not evil, they might do something evil to you. Think about that. This country could be a hell of a country. This could be a great country for real. But it's evil people that run it. And they really don't want it to be like that. They don't want harmony. They don't want racial harmony. They don't want to close the wage gap. They don't want equality, inclusivity. They don't want that stuff. They don't want that. They don't want to end homelessness, hunger. That's not the goal. The goal is to get what they can get for themselves and control everybody else so they can be able to do whatever they want to do. Keep us in chaos, in a perpetual state of chaos where we're constantly arguing and bickering about stuff, insignificant things that don't even matter, while they stick it to us all. When I say all, I'm talking about you white folks too. Y'all getting it too. Y'all don't even know it. Some of y'all don't even know it. Y'all think y'all got it good because y'all ain't getting shot by the police, but y'all getting shot by your government officials every day. Y'all getting ran through too. They getting everybody. Everybody. If you can create, if you can build a system of hatred, discrimination, subjugation, you can destroy it. It ain't really that hard. You just change the indoctrination pattern. Simple. They ain't gonna do that because everything kind of working out just like they want it to. What's up, John Bradley? You got that right. Everybody get it in different ways. Everybody get it in different ways. Societies are supposed to go forward, not backwards. How many of you right now feel safer today than you did last year? You know what? I ain't got to go last year. How many of you guys feel safer today than you did yesterday? How many of you guys feel safer today than you did 10 years ago, 20 years ago? And I'm talking about everybody. I'm talking to everybody. I'm talking to everybody, all ethnicities, everybody. How many of you feel safer today than you did yesterday, last year, 10 years ago, 20 years ago? Why is it that we feel more fearful every year in this country? Why is it that we're constantly buying security mechanisms to try to keep us and our families safe? Why? Why is it that we're constantly hiring, we're getting more and more police officers, but crime continues to go up? For those of you who don't hear shootings in your neighborhood and you don't see fights in the streets, you still got corruption all around you. You got, them banks, that bank you pass by, that credit union you pass by, that nice big building with that corporate name out on the front, they still inside of there embezzling money, running Ponzi schemes, stealing folks' money. It's just a different type of theft going on. Those department stores, those malls, those fancy malls that y'all go to, those managers in there stealing. But y'all focused on the people that's running inside the stores, grabbing stuff off the counter and stealing. Y'all not thinking about the people that's stealing the money in the back, the ones that's stealing the clothes as they arrive or before they get there. Maybe I'm doing too much, fam. Maybe I'm causing too many people to think. Like people don't like to think. It's family. It ain't a rich neighborhood in this country where corruption ain't going on every day. And I'm talking about corruption at the highest level. Corruption at the highest level. Some of you live in neighborhoods and cities where you pass by plants. And when you look at the plants, you say, oh, it looks like a wonderment. You go, wow, man, it's incredible how they built that structure and they did this and that. And like, wow, that's massive, it's impressive. And you ain't thinking about those airborne chemicals that's killing people. No, you focused on the dude on the street who killed 2 people and got arrested. You ain't thinking about this chemical plant that's in your neighborhood, that's in your city, killing thousands of people over time. Thousands over time. You ain't thinking about that person. You ain't thinking about them. You thinking about the woman stealing bread and lunch meat and steaks out the store and hiding them in her bra and her pants under her dress. You thinking about how horrible she is. You ain't thinking about the ingredients in that food that she's stealing. The people that put those, the companies that put those ingredients inside those foods that's got those cancerous ingredients. You ain't thinking about all of that and those preservatives that we know that kill. We know this stuff kill people over time. You ain't thinking about them. You giving them a pass. And they're not just, though that stuff, ironically, is not just going to kill her. It's going to kill you too eventually. But they get a pass. %80 of the food that we consume in the United States is banned in other countries. Why? Why are they banning food when people are hungry? They're like, no. We're not banning food. We're banning food with those ingredients that these people in the United States allow to be put in the food and water supply. That's what we're banning, because it kills our people. But these people that we trust around here, that we out here fighting for and raising hell for, about to kill for, these people are allowing this stuff to happen, and we loving on them. Make it make sense. So they arrested Diddy's assistant. They arrest poor little Brandon. Poor little Brandon ain't even a speck on this so-called war on drugs. He not even a speck on the map. They looking at Brandon like, oh yeah, he the big supplier. He a drug dealer. He woo. When you got these big pharma making drugs that they know kills, and all they got to do is put a warning label on. All they got to do is say, might cause death, and they covered. That's all they got to do. Might cause death, and they're covered. Why? Because of that. So we focus on little old Brandon, but we ain't focused on the pharmacist who is distributing drugs every day by way of prescription. They like, because the pharmacist has a degree. The pharmacist went to school to sell drugs. The pharmacist went to school for it. So the pharmacists don't go to jail. And the pharmacists pay taxes. So the pharmacists don't go to jail. But Brandon go to jail. Make it make sense. The double standards and the hypocrisy, fam, is amazing. It's absolutely mind-blowing. But that's what we are. That's what we are. So Brandon, they got him, and now they got a bargaining chip. They got a bargaining chip with Brandon. If I'm going to play the odds, the odds tell me if Brandon knows anything that could hurt Diddy and help the feds, he's going to tell them if he knows anything. In fact, Even if Brandon don't know something, to save his skin, I think Brandon is going to behave like most people who gets involved with illegal activity. They are going to spill the beans. Brandon is going to, well, I ain't gonna say spill the beans because spill the beans insinuates that there's some truth to it, but there's something that Diddy did wrong that he knows about. No, I'm saying these guys will even make up stuff. So when a person is getting cut a deal, in my opinion, if they getting cut a deal to tell on somebody else, can you really say with 100% certainty that this person is being truthful? But drop a comment, fam. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Do you think that Brandon is going to help the feds? Or do you think, no, he gonna keep it silent, man? Man ain't gonna lie on Diddy. He ain't gonna throw him under the bus. Drop a comment. Give me a thumbs down if you say, nah, he ain't gonna do none of that. He ain't gonna lie on Diddy. He ain't gonna throw him under the bus. Thumbs down. Thumbs up if you think, yeah, man, Brandon is gonna sing like a black canary at a family reunion. Drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Enjoy the rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world. Until next time, no more talk.